Hey, good evening, everyone. I thought I'd do a quick review on a new tank I got yesterday. I was at my buddy's vape shop. I picked up the Delta 2. It was finally in. I don't know how long these have been out online or whatever, but his shop finally got them. So I went ahead and grabbed one. And I wanted to kind of go over the pros and cons that I've found with it. I've only been using it 2 days, but I've been using it exclusively for 2 days. I put my sub tanks and my limos up. I've been using this all day yesterday and all day today. And I know most people will at least use something for a week, a few days to a week minimum before they'll try to do a review. But I can usually pretty much make up my mind pretty quick on whether or not I'm going to like something. And this one, like I said, I'm going to go over the pros and cons. This one has some pretty serious cons, some pretty serious things going against it. But, like anything else, you have to weigh your pros and cons, and it depends on how you value those pros and cons. The pros might outweigh the cons for you. So, anyway, let's go ahead and get on to my list here. The bad things, and there's a couple of pretty big ones for me. I'm someone that when I'm vaping on a tank, I want to see how much juice I have left. I don't like dry hits. I don't like burning up my coils. I like to be able to know how soon I'm going to need to fill my tank. And the juice windows on this tank are these little slits. There's 3 sets of 3 around the tank, and they're really, really difficult to see how much juice is left in your tank, especially if you're someone with bad eyes like me. These are here for a reason, because I can't see worth a crap, even with them on most of the time. But if you have colored juice or something, I guess, you might be able to see a little better. Holding it up in bright light, that's the only way I can really tell. So that is one pretty bad con for me. And it was something I noticed right away, of course, before I even bought the tank. I saw the one in the display. But, I figured I'd give it a shot anyway. And now, this leads me on to con number 2, which is the amount of juice that it holds. It sucks. It probably only holds about the same amount that the Atlantis does. Before you put the 5 mil top on the Atlantis, it only holds like 2.5, maybe 3 mils. It's not in the literature that comes with it, any of the pamphlets or anything, so it doesn't tell you exactly how much. I didn't bother trying to go to the website. I did actually go to Joytech's website, but I didn't dig into it. I got distracted and did something else, and never actually found out exactly how much the specs on it, exactly how much it's supposed to hold. So anyway, like I said, my guess is 2.5 to 3. So with that said, I've had to fill it quite a bit, since it is the only tank I've been using for the last couple of days. And one sec here, I'm going to go ahead and take a drag. Pretty good flavor. Pretty darn good. Okay, so that will lead me on to the pros. First pro, flavor. I'm using a tobacco blend that I make myself. It's a sweet, caramelly tobacco that is one of my favorites, and the flavor out of this is really good. If I had to rate it on a 1 to 10 scale, I would easily give it a 9. It's a little better than my sub tank, a little better than my limo, but a little bit less than the K-Funds, K-Fund 4s. I get pretty good flavor out of my K-Fund 4s when I can get them to work. That's a whole nother review. So anyway, the flavor, like I said, flavor. And that is, for me, when I'm vaping, the main thing is flavor. Vapor is nice too, but the flavor is what I want. So then the next pro is, this one's actually kind of a mix between a pro and a con. You can get a rebuild deck for this tank. It doesn't come with it. At least the one I bought didn't come with it. You know, I had to buy it separate. I don't know if other B&Ms are going to package them together or something like that, but mine didn't. So here's the rebuild deck, and then here's your disposable. You know, so they're identical size. The rebuild deck here is real similar to the sub-tank, K-Fun, Limos. You know, it's just a chimney in the middle with 2 holes or 2 screws on either side. Now this one does, like the Limo, has the holes down in under the screw, so you can run your wire through the sides if you're wanting, rather than wrapping it under the screw. I personally don't like putting it through the side. I just screw my coils up really bad when I try to do that. It's probably because I'm doing it wrong, but I'm perfectly happy wrapping my wire around the screw. It works for me. Now the other thing too here is this thing does have some monster juice channels. Those are some pretty darn big juice channels, and they don't flood easily as long as you wick it right, just like any other rebuildable deck. And it comes built at a it's supposed to be a 1 ohm coil that's in it. Comes built, wicked, and everything. I did throw this in first, was the first thing I used, but I didn't like it being at 1. It was actually at 1.1 ohm, and I wasn't a big fan of that. So I like to be able to turn my wattage up a little bit higher than what this coil would let me do. So with that said, now the other thing is, like I said, it doesn't come with the tank. The tank I paid $35 for. I know you can get it cheaper online. I don't care. I like my buddies at the vape shop. I like to support them when I can. If it's something within my price range, even if I can get it cheaper online, I'll get it from them because I get it now. I don't have to wait. I hate waiting. I'm not a patient person. So, with that said, the next pro is going to be Vapor. I'll go ahead and take a couple drags here and show you. Maybe we'll get a little better cloud to go in this direction. Those white blinds behind me aren't really helping on the white wall. Yeah, I know. Maybe I'll get all fancy and put a sheet up behind me next time or something. But vapor production's pretty good. And once again, flavor is just phenomenal. I'm really enjoying the flavor out of this. And I got to retract what I said earlier. This is even better than the K-Fun 4. It is. You know, my K-Fun 4s, I do really like the flavor out of them, but this is better. So let's see. Yeah, you can get the rebuild deck. The flavor is good. The price is a good price, and even in a B&M. And the vapor. Those are your the vapor production. Those are your pros. The cons are the juice windows suck. Can't hardly see your juice. The amount that it holds isn't very much. And the rebuild deck, you don't get it with it. You got to buy it separate. Other than that, it's a solid tank. I'm enjoying using it. It'll definitely get some use. I'm probably gonna use that just as much, if not more, than my sub tanks and other things, even though they hold more juice. So anyway, if you're in the market for a reasonably priced sub-ohm tank, go ahead and check it out. It's worth a shot. Have a good night.